Picture turquoise water so clear you can see the bottom from 30 meters up. Whitewashed walls, catching the afternoon sun, a glass of wine on a terrace while the Aegean stretches all the way to the horizon. And then picture yourself actually owning a piece of that. 6 properties, real listings, real prices, and every single one of them described as move-in ready or close enough that you won't be spending your weekends covered in plaster. We're starting just under 170,000 euros and climbing to 280,000 euros. And I promise you, I saved the strongest 2 for the end, so don't go anywhere. We're zooming into the southeastern tip of Crete first, rugged mountains dropping into a coastline that travel writers keep rediscovering every few years. Greece's largest island, Crete sits at the southern edge of the Aegean and enjoys over 300 days of sunshine a year, with a culture so layered it practically has its own dialect, its own cuisine, and its own gravitational pull. Makrigialos sits down there quietly on the island's southern shore, and this is where property number 1 lives. At 170,000 euros, around $200,000, this is a furnished, semi-detached townhouse inside a complex that has 2 large shared swimming pools, a cafe, and a reception area. Stop there for a second. 2 pools and a cafe, already on site. The exterior gives you that classic Cretan feel. Patio doors swinging open to a balcony where the view lines up pool, mountain, and sea simultaneously. Inside, 2 bedrooms with fitted wardrobes, 2 stylish bathrooms, and a fully equipped kitchen, oven, refrigerator, dishwasher, the lot. The listing describes it as furnished to a very high standard and ready to move in, and from what's described, that tracks. No major renovations, no guesswork. You land, unpack, and you're already in Crete. And the best part is, if you're not there year-round, there's an on-site management team and a rental program option that can earn income, while the property just sits there looking beautiful. Always check the documents and fee structures, but at this price with this setup, it's already competing with things that cost significantly more. Now, if you thought that was strong, the next one has a detail that genuinely surprised me. We're crossing the water to the Peloponnese now, the broad mainland peninsula that most people fly over on their way to the islands, which is exactly why prices there still make sense. This is ancient Greece made tangible. Mycenae, Sparta, Olympia, they're all here, tucked between mountain ranges that run straight into some of the most underrated coastline in the Mediterranean. Stupa is a small bay town with a local vibe that hasn't been fully overrun yet. And property number 2 is coming in at 180,000 euros, around $212,000. This is a single-story house, currently under construction and described as delivered ready to move in. 80 square meters, about 861 square feet of living space, plus a 20 square meter, roughly 215 square foot garage, open plan living room and kitchen, 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom. Clean, simple, solid. But here's where it gets interesting. An interior staircase takes you up to a rooftop terrace with uninterrupted sea views. Not a peak of sea between buildings. Uninterrupted. And then the garden, 413 square meters, around 4,446 square feet, walled and enclosed, with room for a barbecue setup in a common paved area of 120 square meters, about 1,292 square feet, on top of that. For context, that's a serious plot of land by any measure. It's not a museum, it's real life. A proper yard, a rooftop perch, sea views baked in, and a garage for the car or the scooter. Listings at this price, with this much outdoor space, move fast. So file it mentally and keep watching, because number 3 changes the game in a different direction entirely. Quick breath here. Crete's north coast is a different world from the south. Ancient Minoan sites, harbor towns with evening promenades, olive groves pressing right up to the edges of villages that have been continuously inhabited for 3,000 years. The vibe is slower, walkable, genuinely local. And Plaka in particular is one of those north coast villages where the main square doubles as the town's living room, which brings us perfectly to property 3, a bungalow tucked behind that square, 199,000 euros, about $235,000. And yes, tucked behind the square is exactly what it sounds like. You're central without being on top of the noise. Fully renovated, and I mean fully, the owner did this right. 2 double bedrooms each with fitted wardrobes and air conditioning, 1 large bathroom with a walk-in shower, a separate living room with a sofa bed for guests, a utility room with a washing machine, and a kitchen stocked with everything you need to cook. Step outside through the sliding entrance and you've got a private vine-covered courtyard with raised flower beds and a tiled terrace. Described as completely move-in ready. No major renovations required. And given the detail that went into this renovation, that's easy to believe. And the best part is the flexibility. The listing positions it as ideal for retirees, families on holiday, or as a short or long-term rental, and being dead center of an amenity-rich Cretan village, that last option isn't a stretch. Subscribe if you want more finds like this. Next region we cover is even more affordable, but first, we're about to go somewhere most people have never heard of, and that's exactly the point. Our next destination, Astypalia, is nicknamed the Butterfly Island because of its shape, and it sits at the crossroads of the Cyclades and the Dodecanese, which means it gets the white cubic architecture of Santorini and Mykonos, without anywhere near the prices or the crowds. The island has no mass tourism infrastructure to speak of, a Cora that looks like it was painted by hand, and beaches that stay quiet even in August, a rare thing in the Aegean. Property 4 is in Analipsi on Astypalia at 240,000 euros, around $283,000, and on paper, it's a 75 square meter, about 807 square foot house, with a 25 square meter, roughly 269 square foot patio on a private 110 square meter, approximately 1,184 square foot plot, 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, sea views, short distance to beach. That's already a solid pitch, but the renovation list on this one reads like a developer's spec sheet, completely redone from scratch, while keeping traditional Cycladic style. New plumbing, new electrical wiring, new floors, new ceilings, new bathrooms, new double-glazed windows with tilt-and-turn screens, 2 AC units, a solar water heater, security doors, a water tank, a pergola, and a built-in heated jacuzzi that the listing describes as a mini pool. Stone walls keep it cool in summer, without air conditioning alone. Furniture and appliances are included if the buyer wants them. It's currently arranged as 2 independent units with separate entrances, so there's a rental angle built in, or you convert it back to one unified home. The listing says that's straightforward. And there's remaining building factor for an additional floor if you ever want to expand. Close to the airport, 10 minutes from the port, it's not a museum, it's real life on a Cycladic island most tourists have never stepped foot on. Now here's where the leader changes, because the next 2 are the reason I told you not to click away. Leros. South Aegean, a different kind of Greek island. Quieter, greener, with an Italian Art Deco influence left over from the 1930s that makes its harbor towns look unlike anywhere else in Greece. Under Italian administration for decades before reuniting with Greece in 1947, Leros ended up with pastel waterfront buildings and wide promenades that give it an almost cinematic quality at golden hour, and a pace of life that feels genuinely unhurried. Property 5 is in Aegean Marina, right in the village, just a few steps from the sea. 260,000 euros, roughly $309,000. Built in 2007 in traditional Greek style, and the listing is unambiguous. Excellent condition, no work expected. This one is split into 2 levels, which immediately opens up the way you use it. Upper level, 1 bedroom, a living room with a stone fireplace, an open kitchen, a bathroom, and a large terrace with views straight across Aegean Marina Bay. Lower level, 2 bedrooms, a second living room with its own kitchen, a second stone fireplace, and a private interior courtyard. 2 fireplaces, 2 living spaces, a terrace over the bay, and your steps from the water. The dual-level layout means you can host family, run a seasonal rental on 1 floor, or just spread out and live. And the best part is the island itself. Leros has real ferry connections, a functioning airport, a local community that actually lives there year-round, and that Italian meets Greek architecture that turns every evening walk into something cinematic. Solid property, described as no work needed, and on an island that hasn't been priced out yet. Comment below which one you'd actually pick, because number 6 is about to make that question much harder. One more regional note before the finale. The Peloponnese is having a moment. International buyers who used to default to Crete, or the Cyclades, are quietly turning their attention to the Laconian coast, the southeastern finger of the peninsula, because the coastline is raw and beautiful. The towns are real and not tourist inflated, and the sea there is some of the clearest in all of Greece. Neapoli is a working port town on the Laconian Gulf, the kind of place where the fishermen still go out before dawn, and the Caffeinaean fills up by 9. Real Greece, not a postcard version of it, which makes property 6, the last one, feel almost unfair. Neapoli on the Laconian Gulf, 280,000 euros, around $330,000. A 3-level maisonette totaling 94 square meters, about 1,012 square feet, set within a 7,470 square meter, roughly 80,400 square foot, shared plot with just 3 other maisonettes. Your private garden alone is 158 square meters, around 1,701 square feet. Ground floor, open plan living room and kitchen flowing to a semi-outdoor terrace facing the sea. Upper floor, 1 bedroom with its own private terrace over the Laconian Gulf. Lower level, another bedroom, another bathroom, and a living room with direct access to the outdoor space. The communal grounds include parking, a pergola area, and a barbecue setup, and a small path leads straight from the garden to the sea. Not near the sea, not sea view. A path from your garden to the water. Described in the listing as an incredible seaside maisonette, and honestly, that's not overselling it. 3 levels of actual living space, a private garden, sea access, and 280,000 euros in a region that hasn't caught up to its own value yet. Prices reflect the moment of selection, and at the time of this roundup, this one is the closer, the one you come back to after watching everything else. So here's the quick breakdown if you're choosing. Best for pure investment setup and lowest entry point. Number 1 in Makrogiallos, with its pool complex and rental management already in place. Best outdoor space for the money. Number 2 in Staupa, that 413 square meter, 4,446 square foot garden with the rooftop sea view is hard to argue with. Most move-in ready village life. Number 3 in Plaka, fully renovated, walkable, flexible use. Most unique island find. Number 4 in Astapalia, the Cycladic renovation with the jacuzzi on an island most people can't find on a map. Best dual use layout. Number 5 on Leros, 2 levels, 2 fireplaces, terrace over the bay, and best overall package if you want sea access built in. Number 6 in Neapoli, path to the water, private garden, 3 levels, Laconian Gulf at your doorstep. Now the real question for the comments, which one actually fits your life? The beach investment in Crete, the plot with the rooftop in Stupa, the Cycladic gem on Astapalia, or the maisonette with the garden path straight to the sea? Drop your pick below, and if you want more real finds like these, subscribe because the next regional roundup goes somewhere that makes these prices look expensive.